5-star card. What? What? Why? What?
Hey, buddy, watch this.
Yeah, that's not the only alarmed reaction you're going to see in this video, because it's time for my Rastakhan's Rumble re-review, which means I have 135 cards to take a look back at and see how I rated them before the expansion hit. Now that we have some data on how these cards are performing, we can see whether I was wrong or right, or will maybe be wrong or right in the future, but at the very least, a lot of things to consider. So let's go ahead and jump into this re-review as it was recorded live on my Twitch stream. So I know this looks stupid because the first review got messed up, but the idea here is I'm not going to do the whole sheet. We're going to go into the videos in a minute and see the actual star ratings. This would be admittedly easier, but annoying. It wouldn't be as cool looking and not as good of a video. Shirvala the Tiger, I gave a 3-star rating. Shirvala is better than a 3-star card already. We've seen that. Shirvala has been a 4-star card. So I was close. And just for the record, I want to establish, I think if we're within 1 star, we feel pretty good, right? Like, it means we were close. It's when I'm more than 2 stars apart from a card. Like, if it's a 4-star card and I gave it 2 stars, that's probably a problem. But I want to hear what you guys think about these ratings, too. Like, if you think it's really a 3-star card, share that in chat. If you think it's a 4-star card, share that in chat. I want to hear about it. So I think Shirvala has been a 4-star card. It's not right now, but of course, like always, my reviews are supposed to capture the universal default qualities of a card in every era of standard format. So if it's not good right now, it might eventually be good. Shirvala's already been good. If it's not good right now, it was already good, so we know it's a good card. It had that strength at one point.
Yarg.
Wow, Torrid, welcome back, dude. 2 months. Shirvala's an easily 5-star card. I don't think it ever made it to 5 stars for me. I think it's a 4-star card. It's a good card in a good deck, but it wasn't a tier 1 deck. And I mean, it was fundamentally important, I guess. But I don't think I'd give this 5 stars. I think by my metrics, this is a 4-star card. 5-star cards, Zul'jin would have been a 5-star card at one point, but he is not anymore. Zul'jin right now is probably a 4-star card. I know it was a staple in Shirvala OTK, but that was never a tier 1 deck outside of a tournament setting. That was a tier 2 deck at best. And if you think about it, the only reason Shirvala was a good card in that deck is because it cost 25 mana, right? Any card that cost 25 mana would have then been a 5-star card, you know? I don't know if I believe that. Like, I don't think its cost is merits enough. Now, it's still a good card to play. It feels good to play, and that's why I think it's a 4-star card. Lich King is definitely a 5-star card. Good across multiple decks, across multiple archetypes, very strong in tier 1 decks. I think for me, and by the way, we can all have different metrics of what we consider 5 stars. But to me, Shirvala is not a 5-star card, especially not right now. Shouldn't something that defines a deck be a 5-star, though? No, not necessarily. It depends on the deck. I mean, I could make a Millhouse Mana Storm deck, and it might be the defining card of my Millhouse Mana Storm deck, but if it's got a 3% win rate, that's not a, you know what I mean? That doesn't matter. It's a 3% win rate deck. It's a tier 27 deck, right? So there is some importance for how good the deck is. And obviously, OTK Paladin was a good deck, but it's never a tier 1 deck. It was always tier 2. Frankly, it was not even as competitive as the other version of OTK Paladin when they were both being played. They kind of got fused together eventually, I think. But so because it's not universal like Lich King or Ziliax, those to me are like 5-star cards, right? Those have to be. Like, Shirvala's not as good as Ziliax or Lich King, right? So they can't have the same score to me. There has to be some
Sweet spreadsheet.
higher level for those. So Shirvala is a 4-star card, which means I was 1 star off. Soul Thrace, I gave 3 stars. I actually think that's pretty fair. Soul Thrace feels good to play, but it's not proven itself as a 4-star card yet. I think Soul Thrace hits right on the mark at 3 stars. Sharkfin Fan has not been a 4-star card. It's a 2-star card at best. We whiffed on this one. We overrated Sharkfin Fan's importance, probably because even Rogue made a lot of sense. But even there, it hasn't looked that good yet. It's so far, and by the way, just because I say it hasn't lived up to its expectations yet, doesn't mean it never will. Doesn't mean it won't eventually be a 4-star card, but right now we have no evidence to support the fact that Sharkfin Fan's a 4-star card. It looks like a 2-star card right now. Spirit of the Shark, 3 stars. It's popped up from time to time, but it's not a 3-star card yet. It's a 2-star card. It has not seen any substantial, significant play in real decks, so 2 stars. Spirit of the Bat, 2 stars so far. Has not seen a lot of significant play in real decks. So we were close on these, off on this one, close on these two, but ultimately we overrated them a little bit. Hyreek the Bat, vastly overrated. Mage got much closer on Hyreek. I don't know if it's a 1-star card yet. Arguably, it could be argued to be a 1-star card. I don't know that we've got evidence that it's been like actively harmful to your deck. I just don't think it's very good. So I would call it a 2-star card at the moment. Mage was close enough. I vastly overrated the impact of Hyreek. Wrong on this one. Surrender to Madness, 2 stars is totally fine. Immortal Prelate. I think some people would probably argue 3 stars for Immortal Prelate, but I don't think I'm one of them. Let's see what it's at right now. It has been played in some decks, I guess. I mean, like, there have been OTK decks popping it in. So Immortal Prelate has a 0.7% played rate right now, and it never got above it never got to 1%. So no, that's a 2-star card. That's dead on. It's never been a 3-star card. It's been in some decks here and there, but 2 is definitely right for Immortal Prelate. Void Contract, 2 is fine. Arguably 1, I would say, is a reasonable score for Void Contract, but 2 is certainly within reason. Savage Striker, 1 is fine. Yeah. I did see it in a deck the other day, but I don't think it's actually being played in anything real, right? Let's see. Savage Striker. It's not even showing up on HS Replay. It's so sparse. 0.06% of decks. So no, easy 1-star card. Spring Paw, 4 stars is right. Yeah, I think not a 5-star card by any means, but 4 stars feels very good for that one. Played widely across all versions of Hunters. That feels good. Baited Arrow, 2 stars is wrong. I think if you looked right now, you'd probably say Baited Arrow is a 3-star card, but it certainly showed that it can be a very relevant card. So I think for me, I still have to give Baited Arrow a 4-star rating because it was everywhere. It was one of the most popular cards before.
What do you think
before
of the
the
new
nerfs?
Tavern Brawl where you can play as the Rumble Run bosses?
Abyssal Paladin, we just played it, dude. You missed it. I'm sorry to say. If you go back to the early part of the stream, we played 3 games. It was tons of fun, man. It's going to get more fun, too, I think, over time. So I enjoyed it a lot, man. I think it's a really cool brawl. And a good free pack, too. So I would say Baited Arrow is like 3.5 stars, to be totally fair right now. I think we missed the mark. I underrated Baited Arrow, which hurts me, because I actually went against this card pretty hard. Rain of Toads, Mage, you've been pretty good so far, man, but you whiffed on this one, I think. Rain of Toads, not a 5-star card yet. Maybe one day. Rain of Toads feels fine at 2 stars for me. There's no surprises in the data here, are there? Rain of Toads, no. 0.4% of decks. That sounds very much like a 2-star card. Pyromaniac, 4 stars is absolutely right. It's a staple in Odd Mage. Very good card. 4 stars feels perfect. It's one of the most played cards of the set right now. You'd say 3 for Toads, but you've never seen it played. Who played it? It peaked
Are we
at...
reviewing the upcoming Dawn of the Dragons cards? Am I watching the reveal stream?
Pyro dude, thanks to 100 bits. I wish, man. We're definitely going to review them at some point. Mecha Sushi also, thank you for the 100 bits, guys. Much love, much appreciation. Rain of Toads, guys, peaked at 0.82%. If it didn't get to 1%, I can't give it 3 stars. I think it's a 2-star card. Toads was seeing play in Even Shaman after Vicious Syndicate recommended it. When was that? I mean, this goes back to 12/15, which is like 10 days after the expansion came out. But I will admit that loses 10 days of data, but that's kind of like the early junky data anyway. That data is never good because it's not refined yet. So I don't think we're losing anything valuable. I'm unwilling to say Toads is 3 stars, guys. I don't see evidence for that. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad card fundamentally. We don't have evidence for that yet. We don't know until it rotates out of standard whether or not it ever saw play. But for now, I'm not seeing evidence to support that. I think 2 is right. And then finally, 3 more cards here. No, 2 more. Hexlord Malacross, not a 4-star card yet at all. 2-star at best. So Malacross, we were off on that. Overrated relevance. Hyreek and Malacross both baited me as the first legendaries to be revealed. It's weird that I didn't take the bait on Shrivala, though. I don't know why. And then Cannon Barrage, 2 stars is probably fine. It's again, I don't think it's inherently bad, but I just haven't seen data or evidence to suggest it should be higher. Let me find the stats on it. It's in 0.2% of decks right now, and it peaked 0.5%. So yeah, definitely 2-star is fine there. So for review part 1, then that means we only missed on Hexlord Malacrass, Baited Arrow a little bit, Hyreek, Spirit of the Bat. We were close, but kind of overrated. Sharkfin Fan I overrated pretty hard. So I'd say we got 3/4 of them pretty close, and at least half of them dead on. Like most of these we got exact, or 1 versus 2, kind of not a huge distinction. Savage Striker's really probably not a 1-star card yet, but well, I don't know. It did have the worst played rate of any of these, so pretty good actually for part number 1 there. I'm happy with those results. So let me go now to part 2, and this is where we'll go to the actual videos. Give me a second to figure out what I've got going on here. Okay. Let me see part 2. All right, this is where it gets a little more fun, because now we get to hear me talking. Now I get to look like a fool. Now we have screenshots of me being an idiot, right? Where are the quick reviews here? Let me click the shortcuts that this guy puts in here. These handy shortcuts. Oh, there's some green screen popping out of the corner here, guys. By the way, guys, what shirt am I wearing? What color is that shirt? Can anybody tell? Oh, that's a blue shirt? Oh, that's funny. I feel like this guy wears a lot of blue shirts. This is exactly what happened last time. All right, get over it, guys. I wear a blue shirt. Get over it. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Somebody is messaging me on Hearthstone. This is why I always... Magico, guys. You can't see it, but Magico's dropping me a deck list. He's dropping me a deck list. Our new friend Magico.
A second again, you paused at just that right moment. You resembled Ron Perlman.
I can see it. I see it, man. Ron Perlman's cool. I'd be Ron Perlman. That's fine. I'd be totally fine. Who's this handsome man? God, this guy. Oh, over here. Ooh. Look at that blue shirt. Yikes. My camera's like more contrasty now than it was then. My head's just as shiny. Hey, Lord Veloth, man. Can you please play Magico's deck after this? I don't know. I'll have to see if it's still in chat. It's not easy to copy it from chat, I don't think. Unless maybe I go into BattleNet chat might make it easier. I'm not sure. I want to run my fingers through your beard hair. Would you mind? I would, yeah. I don't mind like hugs necessarily. But like I don't want people's fingers in my face. That's kind of weird. All right, let's see. Let's see what I gave these cards. Ticket Scalper is a 3-star card. I don't think so. I think Ticket Scalper is a 2-star card, right? Let's see. I haven't really...
Have a chill night, Regis. I'm heading out. Stay cool, dude.
Thanks, man. Have a good one, Spicy Recon, man. Good to see you as always. Hope your post-birthday life is treating you well, man. And I wrote Ticker Scalper. That's not the name.
Skilbin, I personally am not a fan when people touch my beard. Especially when they don't ask.
Yeah, it's like it gets in your space a little bit, right? Like it's a little too close in your space. So Ticket Scalper has been being played in Tempo Rogue and did crest over 1% recently, which has kind of been that metric where I feel like if you get over 1%, I wonder if you're actually a 3-star card.
Wear a green shirt for Halloween and stream as the Headless Kilbin.
I have. Whistle, that happened. There's a YouTube video of it, man. I've done a headless Kilbin where I'm just shoulders, where I have no face, and I've also done where it's just my head with no body. I've done both. So you can actually probably find those if you look back for Halloween VODs and videos and stuff. I actually think there's evidence to suggest Ticket Scalper's a 3-star card, guys. It has peaked over 1%. It's being played a little bit. I think this is a fair rating. I think it's 3. We don't consider Arena, but it's definitely better if you consider Arena. But for Standard, I think it's still just 3 stars. Heavy Metal is a 2-star card. I think that's fair. I honestly have had some success with Heavy Metal myself, but the meta at Wild has not, or the meta at Wide at large has not. So 2 stars feels good. Timeout is a 3-star card. Timeout's better than 3 stars. Timeout is 4-star card. It's very good in Control Paladin. It saw a lot of success in OTK. We're not too far off, of course. Again, within 1 is a reasonable threshold, I think. But it's definitely a 4-star card. It worked much better than or at least I thought it would. I thought it would be a little bit worse than an Ice Block, because you have to time it well, but it's still, when you have that Universal Link Edition, it's definitely a 4-star card. McLeod, dude, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Guys. Oh, that was it? That was a short review, man. Crazy. Let's go to part 3. This is where we're going to overrate Bwansamdi super hard. I can't wait. Can't wait to overrate Bwansamdi super hard. Spirit of the Dead is a 5-star card. What? What? Why? What? I need a dunce cap. Do we have a dunce cap graphic? Hold up. Like, here we go. I need a PNG here, Google. Where? What? Why did I do that? Why did I give it 5 stars, chat? Come on, where are the dunce cap PNGs? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm getting talked to that in Spanish, guys. I don't know what it says. I should know this. I should know what the Spanish is. Like, si no se puede por el chat, el código te lo deje en el último video de YouTube de un tipo llamado Vladimir Cahiao. I don't know what that means. Hope I didn't just say something terrible. People like, this guy hates Spanish people. I can't find a dunce cap, guys, so I guess we'll just go on. Oh well. There's no good PNG. Who gives this card 5 stars? Who gives this card 5 stars? Too many taquitos that day. That's every day. If that was the metric for which I rated bad cards, they would all be overrated, I'll tell you what. Definitely not a 5-star card. 2-star card right now. 2-star card, easy. I mean, it has popped up in like Tice's Spiteful Priest. We played it a little bit like this week. It actually hit 1%. It actually hit 1% this week. 1.5
about Bwansamdi's zombies at release.
Oh, was I, Pyro Man? Oh, I took the bait, dude. I got too excited. I actually think this might be a 3-star card, guys. It's being played right now. It's being played in Spiteful Priest and in a little bit of Controlled Priest with like Keliseth too. I think it's a 3-star card. Oh, that's actually Spiteful Priest. That's not Control Priest. I don't know why I said that. That's what they've got it labeled, but that's obviously a Spiteful deck. Well, actually, no. This deck has Psychic Scream and Spirit of the Dead. It actually is a Control Priest. And it's being played in some Quest Priests as well. I think it's a 3-star card. I didn't actually know that until just now. Not 5 stars. I still vastly overrated. Bwansamdi the Dead is a 4-star card. No, Bwansamdi is not 4 stars. I think he might be another 3-star card based on the numbers I just looked up. Nah, he's at 0.7 right now. Well, he has gotten over 1.8, 1.1, or 1.18, excuse me, 1.1, just 1 flat. It feels more like 2.5 to 3 stars. I think 3 is generous for Bwansamdi right now. I think this is considered an overrate. I think we overrated Bwansamdi. Belligerent Gnome is a 3-star card. I'm mad about this one. I'm mad about this because I thought this was a garbage card. And there you go, folks. And there you go, folks. I thought Belligerent Gnome was a garbage card. I was so mad that everybody was really hyping it up. Everybody was like telling me how good Belligerent Gnome was. So I like caved a little bit and gave it 3 stars. I remember the kind of rhetoric around that card at the beginning. It's not a 3-star card. It's probably a 1-star card, honestly. I think people got just pumped on the anti-aggro potential of it, and I'm a little upset about this one because I caved too much. Sometimes I do that a little bit. It's like, oh, everybody thinks this is good? Okay. I'll give it 3 stars instead of 2. Fill that potential. So, oh, sexy Regis. Okay, so that was off. That was a pretty bad review. We've had the first 2 we were pretty good on. That was pretty bad. That was quite a bit off. Quite a bit off.
The same guy who dropped my ice cream the other day is delivering my ice cream now.
Oh no, Pyro
I'm not
Man.
worried at all. You're worried.
Oh no, dude. I wish your ice cream the best. Here. Holy Broad, please protect Pyro's ice cream. May it find its way from the delivery man's hands to his belly. There you go.
Hakar the Soul Flayer is a 2-star card.
No, I think Hakar is a 3-star card now. I don't think Hakar has gotten into 4-star card range yet. I would not ever say that because it's a pretty fringe. Has not hit 2%, a little over 1%. Yeah. It's actually climbing right now. It's I think kind of like OTK counter. Druid still likes it, but I don't think I can say that 4 stars is viable. I think 3 stars is the right mark for Hakar. So I did underrate it a little bit. I did not think it would be played much at all. I thought there might be like, you know, sort of a tier 4 meme deck. I did not think it'd be like a tier 2 or tier 3 deck, but it has been.
War Master Voon.
Oh, stop the video. We got to talk about this one. We got to stop the video. We got to talk about it. Because I know what's going to happen here. So here's the deal, guys. If you remember the day War Master Voon came out, they revealed a different version of War Master Voon, okay? And I did the video so fast that I reviewed the first War Master Voon and had the video almost done. And then I found out that War Master Voon they like changed it. They released the wrong card or whatever. They sent out the wrong card when they announced it. It was originally like a 5-mana 5/4 or something. I don't remember exactly what the stats were. I bet if you even look in this review, I bet you can see where my hair changes or something. I bet like if you go, where is War Master Voon at in this review? I bet if you look, like, is this hair different than this hair? Because I recorded it at like a slightly different time. Like maybe the hair changed or something. It's pretty hard to tell. I don't know. It'd be pretty hard to tell. Anyway, so what happened was I didn't like the first version of War Master Voon that much because I thought it was a little high cost. I just wasn't feeling in love with it yet, right? But then they changed it and it got cheaper and it had the same effect. And I was like, oh crap.
5-star card.
I like this War Master Voon. 5 stars. And that's the story of why I overrated War Master Voon. Still my fault. I published the video. I claim the review. It's not like I can, you know, recant the review. I posted it with knowing those stats, but I just got caught up in the moment. I think I was in a hurry. I think realistically I should have given it 4 stars, which is still wrong. That's still way overrated. It's a 2-star card right now. It's not seeing any play. Very, very little play. 0.35% is nothing. So it's an easy 2-star card. Vastly overrated, both with my correct review and my
The Shark
hasty.
is a 3-star card.
What? What is going on? I am garbage at this. We had a really good Boomsday review period. Grawl is not a 3-star card. He's a 2-star card at best, and arguably lower. So that's an overrate. I mean, it's close, more than 1 star or whatever, but it's a significant one. Being wrong at 3 stars and something's a 2-star card is significant because 3 stars is playable, 2 stars means it's not being played. So that's a bigger gap than the gap between 3 and 4, I think. Maybe the gap between 4 and 5 is just as big. 1 and 2, nominal gap, really.
Zandalari Templar is a 3-star card.
I think it's probably still a 2-star card, but 3 stars is not totally outrageous. I have seen it pop up from time to time, but it's really more of a 2-star card. Yeah, 0.1% of decks. So 2 stars right now. I still feel like it's pretty good. Like, I think this card will be played. But 2 stars is appropriate for this one. So, again, a little overrated.
Spirit of the Tiger is a 4-star card.
I think Tiger's a 3-star card. It's not a 4-star card.
Is a 4-star card.
But it has been played. What do you guys think about Tiger? Is it 3 stars to you? It's seen some play. It's been in decks. It's been in even decks. So I think 3 stars is where it lands. Not like a star of the deck. Not played a lot right now. Peaked at 1.65% and has really kind of been declining since. It's definitely moving more towards 2 than 4. But I think 3 is still kind of right for Tiger.
Untamed Beastmaster is a 3-star card.
Actually, I think that's fair. It's being played a little bit, but not super consistently, and it's kind of varies, you know? So to me, I think 3 stars is actually right for the Beastmaster. Yeah, 3 stars feels good for Beastmaster. You think 2? No, it's being played a little bit. It's being played like some versions of Hunter, some versions of like Mage. Like I played a Safari Mage with it. Well, actually, I don't know. The stats aren't that... Maybe I'm exposed to this card more than most people, because the stats really aren't reflecting that as much as I thought. Shoot, it's only been in 0.5% of decks. 0.6 was the peak a week ago. And another big peak in mid-December. I think you're right. That's a 2-star card. That's a 2-star card. Based on the stats, that kind of hurts me. I thought this was a 3-star card in my heart of hearts, but you're right. 2 stars is the fair number. It's a 2-star card.
Fire Tree Witch Doctor is a 4-star card.
That's absolutely right. It's a staple in Priest right now, and it's played a lot in Dragon Warrior. I've seen it too, and like Dragon Shaman. I guess I played an odd Dragon Warrior. I think I looked at this card very recently though, and it was played in some version of Warrior. What version of Warrior was it in? Am I losing my mind? Yeah, there is a Dragon Warrior list that's not odd. So it's played in that, but it's not very popular. But really just Priest is what matters. It's in every big Dragon control Priest deck. Not every, but most of them, so. 4 stars I think is right on this one. Feels like a 4-star card. Definitely not 5 stars. Say it, I think we just have different metrics for what a 5-star card means, which is, by the way, fine. Everybody's allowed
I see
to.
a vision in D Flame.
Oh, is that what she says? I was like, what is he talking about? Never FKT, man. Thank you for the bits. Good to see you, dude. It's totally fine if you have a different metric than me. But 5 stars to me, it needs to be like, it needs to stand above very clearly and definitively. Cards like this that aren't, you know, universally good, like Lich King, 5 stars. Zilliax, 5 stars, you know. Dr. Boom, 5 stars. There might only be 2 or 3 5-star cards in an entire expansion. You know, I think a lot of... This face, my God, what is happening to that face? Who makes that face in the middle of a conversation? Oh, boy. I haven't played Hearthstone in 3 months. What I miss? Actually, a lot. I think it's been a pretty fun... I don't know if everybody agrees, but I think it's been a pretty fun meta. I've really liked Rastakhans.
Raiding Party is a 4-star card.
I don't think so, Regis. It's not too far off, though, Regis. Where did that go? Why can't I...
Star card. Fire Tree Witch
can't I find
Doctor
this?
is a 4-star card.
I want to pause it in
Raiding
exactly the right
Party
frame.
is a 4-star.
I don't think it's 4 stars to me. I think it's probably a 3-star card. Let's look at the stats right now. It was played a lot in... It was played a lot when Kingsbane was around. It's still kind of played in Malagos Rogue to help you find your weapon, I think, as a weapon tutor. There's like an aggro pirate rogue that plays it. I don't know if that's 4-star worthy. It's only 1.61% of decks. It was in 8% of decks, though, when Kingsbane was around. So actually, yeah, that's 4 stars. It was 4 pre-nerf, which means it's a 4-star because it was 4 stars at one point. So it's just, by default, based on its general characteristics, a 4-star card. I think that's right. Which makes sense. You know, it's a tutor and it's draw 3 for 3. That's really good. So, yeah, 4 stars is fair.
Grave Horror is a 4-star card.
No, it's not. It's another card I don't think is actually bad and might eventually be 4 stars. But at the moment, we don't have evidence to suggest that it's 4 stars. 0.6% of play. Peaked at 0.86. It's being played in... there's like a new kind of Divine Spirit Interfire combo priest that runs it as sort of a second way to get a lot of stats out. That's gaining some momentum, but not much. So I think 2.5. It might be 3 stars in a week or two, but I think for right now, most evidence would suggest it's still 2 stars based on the numbers. So pretty significant overrate there. Again, if we do the re-review in 3 months or something, I think this might actually be a 4-star card or a 3-star card. So I'm holding out hope, but for now, that's overrated.
Elderthorn Lancer is a 4-star card.
Yeah, I think maybe. I think there's an argument that it's a 3-star card, but 4 stars does not feel inherently wrong for this. It's being played 2.2% of decks over the last 30 days. It's actually gaining ground almost 3% right now, yesterday or today, in odd warrior decks with a dragon variant. So I think 4 stars is fair. 3.5 is probably really where it lands. But not wrong. This one's fine.
Ironhide Direhorn is a 2-star card.
I think that's totally fair. Arguably 1, but the difference there, again, negligible.
Undasta is a 3-star card.
So we're going to have a fight about this one, I think. We're probably going to have a fight about Undasta, chat. and future video watchers. I don't know if Undas is a 4-star card right now. I guess it is. I'm gonna be honest though, like it's definitely not 5 stars. There's no way. It's only in 2.7% of today. It's in 2.16% of decks. That is not a 5-star card. It peaked at 7, which is still not a 5-star card. So even at its best, I think 4 stars at its best. I actually think it's a 3-star card today, but it was at one time a 4-star card. So I think you have to say it's a 4-star card. But if you were to just ignore the last month and just look at this card today, you'd feel like 3 stars is right on. I think Death Rattle Hunter just buoyed this one a lot. And if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't be there. It was played a little bit in Odd Warrior 2 with some of the beast synergies. So it saw a couple decks. That's the only reason it's 4 stars to me is like multiple decks played it. If it was just Death Rattle Hunter and it was only because of Katharina, like I guess you'd still have to, by technicality, say it's a 4-star card, but it sure wouldn't feel like 4 stars. But I think 4 stars is right, the right score. Although, I'll be honest, I don't feel bad about giving it 3. I thought people were going a little too crazy about Undasta when it first hit. And I actually thought people were playing it when they shouldn't be in regular decks, too, when it first hit. Like, both pre-expansion and post-expansion. So I do feel a little vindicated on this one in some ways, although I still think I underrated it to some extent.
Guru Bashi Chicken is a 1-star card.
Yes, it is.
A new
By the way, these are all the cards that I revealed at the card reveal stream, so this is kind of trippy.
Challenger is a 3-star card.
I don't think so. It's a 2-star card right now. I don't think I've ever actually seen this played. So, 1 star is even arguable, but 2 stars certainly feels okay. It's not one of those cards that's like actively bad. It's feels fine to get off things. So 2 stars is the mark for this one. So a little overrated. I think there's a chance this actually does bump up to 3 eventually. But for now, 2 stars.
Zentimo is a 4-star card.
Not yet. Unfortunately, Zentimo is a 2-star card right now, right? Like he's really not being played much. I play him in my sort of pet evolve deck, but I really don't think he's worthy of getting even 3 stars. So 2 stars is the mark right now. 3? What does he get played in? I don't see him ever. He's in 0.81% of decks, so not even 1%, which I feel like you got to be at 1% to get 3 stars right now. Has never been over 1%. His peak is today at 0.81, so he must be in something right now that's gaining some popularity. I've heard that Token Shaman's moving a little with like hexes to counter all the priests and stuff. But yeah, I don't think you can make a strong case for more than 2 here. Might be able to make a case, but not a strong one. So I think this is a 2-star miss, pretty drastically overrated.
Waterboy is
so
a
far.
1-star card.
Absolutely
Jan'alai
terrible.
the Dragonhawk is a 4-star card.
Dead on, yeah. I mean, Jan'alai is like, again, it's kind of like the, these class cards that are very, very good do kind of feel like 5-star cards in some ways, but I still don't really think she is. Her and Zul'jin probably feel the closest of any of the expansion cards so far to 5 stars, but I think 4 is actually technically correct based on my metrics. I don't think she's a 5-star card yet.
Spirit of the Dragonhawk is a 4-star card.
It is not. It's a 2-star card right now. Odd Mage is too dominant for this to see play. Again, a card I have a little bit of hope for, but at the moment, Dragonhawk is peaking in 0.2% of decks. Oof, that's nothing, yeah. So definitely 2 stars. Definitely 2 stars. 0 stars for Waterboy. If only I did 0 stars. Yeah, it would be. It's pretty terrible. Okay. Yeah, 2 stars.
Daring Fire Eater is a 4-star card.
Absolutely is. Yeah, it's very prominent in all versions of Odd Mage. Really good card. Sort of flew under a lot of people's radar, I think, but very much a 4-star card. Dead
High
on.
Priestess Jekyll.
This one's gonna hurt, guys. Both because I'm wrong and because I'm so sad about being wrong.
Is a 5-star card.
No, she's not. She's a 2-star card. Oh, that one hurts my soul to say. I can't even say it hardly, guy. Hyreek, grant me wings! Hyreek, please make Discard Warlock work. Hyreek, grant her wings. Grant her wings. Do you agree Spirit of the Juggernaut would see more play if it costs 3? Maybe, yeah. Certainly more at 1, but maybe at 3 just because of odd decks. What percent of decks would you consider 5-star? Cards, you mean? Very, very small percentage. Right now, 5-star cards in the game are like Ziliax, Baku, Gin, Lich King, Leroy. I'm looking at a list right now. Arguably Rexar, probably Death Stalker Rexar is 5 stars. That's a Fungalmancer, maybe 5 stars. Tar Creeper, Stonehill Defender, probably still only 4 stars, honestly. I think those are about it. I think I named most of the 5-star cards. Yeah, there might be a couple more, but there's just not that many, right? Like, 5 stars to me is like this thing that's like, it's just guaranteed to be good. It's just always good. It's great. Everybody wants it. That's 5 stars. Jack Link is not that. And class cards, I think, can be 5 stars if they're like something that creates a tier 1, you know, defining deck, because this card is single-handedly driving that. Like I said, Rexar, I think, can kind of be a 5-star card. It's just so pervasive. Jack Link is 2 stars, though.
Soul Warden is a 3-star card.
2 stars. So, I mean, we were a little over. A lot of people are hyped about Soul Warden. I actually came in under, I think, a lot of people's expectations for Soul Warden. So, I was closer to right than wrong on that one, but still a little wrong.
Shriek is a 4-star card.
It's not. I really think this card should be played more, though. Why doesn't anybody play Shriek? To me, it still feels good. Like, I still feel like this could be played in standard decks. Like, not even in a discard synergy deck. But I don't even play this in my discard deck. Like, I cut this card, too. So, I don't know. It's a 2-star card. I really thought this one was the most guaranteed of any of the discard support cards that we saw. So, minus Jeklik. I thought this one was going to be great.
Reckless Dire Troll is a 4-star card.
You overestimated the discard cards because you really wanted them to work. Maybe, but I actually thought what I did was, I said this a few times, Blizzard would not possibly print more discard support, and they wouldn't possibly make half of Warlock's cards about discard if they weren't sure that this is what was going to make it work. So I kind of used some logic that said, like, the only reason they'd ever print these cards is because they know it's finally going to take. These are the cards that get it over the hump and make it a playable deck. I thought there'd just no reason to do it. Like, this is the last chance because the quest is rotating out in standard for the next expansion. So if it doesn't stick now, it's never going to stick. At least with, the quest anyway. So I thought this has got to be it. They're putting everything on these cards. And you guys, I don't know if everybody knows this, but it was public. These got leaked. These were cards that, if you guys remember during my card reveal, we had a chance to play Mage or Warlock. And we played Mage, and Warlock were the other cards, and they wanted to save them for the Brian Kibler reveal stream, like the week later or whatever, 2 weeks later, whatever it was. And I thought, oh, okay, so like they think this is a really good package. Like they thought the Hero Power package was good. They wanted to show it off. And we saw that it was for the most part, like Daring Fire Eater, Pyromancer, that all lined up really well, and it's been good cards. So I thought, oh, Warlock must be the other package that's really good that they're trying to showcase here. But it wasn't. It still failed. So I just don't know. Oh, I didn't even talk about that dude. Shoot. What was that dude? How do I go back?
Is a 4-star card. Reckless Dire Troll is a 4-star.
It's not. It's a 2-star card. I basically just overrated all of them. They're all 2-star cards, and I gave them all 4 or 5. So just as a group, I kind of universally got those wrong, which is pretty sad. So now we need to go to part 5, and we'll go to the quick reviews. Let's see. Let's see who else hopped into chat. Hey Mage. Hey Engineer Plays. When does rotation happen? On the next expansion release, which should be like first or second week of April. You didn't have a choice then? They wanted you to pick Mage all along? No, Twitch chat actually picked. Like, that was legit. I'm sorry if I made it sound like it wasn't that case. No, they had a little sign that depending on which one got picked, they held up the sign for us so we knew which class to pick. But my point is, like, those were the 2 things they chose to highlight. Like, for some reason they picked those 2 things as opposed to, like, Hunter or Warrior or whatever. It wasn't like Dragon Warrior, right? So I figured those were pretty big, like, spotlight kind of packages that they wanted to showcase. What percentage of the card have to be played in decks to be considered 5-star? I don't think there's like a hard and fast rule, but probably over 15 or 20%, right? Like up there. It just depends on the meta to some extent, but it's, you know, it's feel a little bit, but just like really big cards have to be 5 stars, or have to be really big to be 5 stars, I should say. So anyway, well, let's go on to part 5 here. High Priest the Call.
High Priest the Call is a 4-star card.
I think that's right.
You know what cards don't get leaked? The cards in your Ridge wallet.
Yes, you're right.
With RFID
I need to do a
protection,
Ridge wallet
your
read,
cards
actually. This is a
information are
good.
just a little bit severe winking face.
What is, oh, Safer. She said Saphir. Yes. Seriously though, guys, I do need to do a Ridge wallet read. I don't do them enough. They have been a very good sponsor to me. They've been very supportive, and they don't ask for much, which is awesome. So I need to point you guys to Ridge Wallet, and I have one and I use it every day. It is the best wallet I've ever owned. Pyro will tell you the same thing. Many people in chat have actually bought these, and no one has said a bad word. Everybody said they love them. So there is a link below the stream if you want to check it out. ridgewallet.com/Regis. They got wallets, backpacks, all kinds of crazy stuff. It's, you know, it's not the cheapest wallet you're ever going to buy, but that's because it's high quality and it's cool and unique, and it makes you feel awesome. So show them some love, dudes. They've been unbelievably good to me. Like, I've had so many different sponsor interactions, and very rarely are they as like open and supportive and be like, hey, just do what you want. We just want to be a part of your life. Like, don't feel like you got to do all these crazy things. They don't give me like a checklist of stuff to do. They're just like, hey, make us a part of your system. Make us, just talk about us occasionally. That's all they ask for, and it's gone well. So that's the least I can do. It's in the backpack, by the way. The backpack is the best backpack I've ever had. I love it. Every time I go to Blizzard, the backpack is just amazing. It's gotten me through so many trips, including the card reveal that we just talked about.
4-star.
I didn't talk about that card enough. Shoot. Let me... The Call.
High Priest the Call is a 4-star.
I think that's right, by the way. The Call does feel like a 4-star card. It was played a lot in OTK decks, of course. I don't think it's being played as much right now, but it saw a lot of play, and I think it still gets played a little bit. So there you go. Sasuke, dude, thanks for the gifted sub to Speed Racer. Congrats, Speed Racer, man. I always thought that Speed Racer movie they made was underrated, by the way. Like, I don't know if I'm the only person who thinks that, but I kind of liked it. Blast Wave is probably not a 4-star card, but I do think a 3-star card argument is very reasonable. Blast Wave is in 2.6% of decks. Yeah, it is being played in some like control your odd mages to activate Dragon's Fury. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable giving it 4 stars. What do you guys think? You guys think 3? How did you pronounce Sasuke? I said Sasuke. Sasuke. I always hear them say it in Japanese shows differently, but I can never.
Kinda early this month with Mech Hunter.
I can never do it. Speed Racer's your son. That's awesome, man.
A few hours.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for showing me the support. And James Zuba says, "Sup, Regis? Got Legend kind of early." It's funny you say that. We looked at you in chat earlier. We had your face or your check it out, man. I had you up earlier on the friends list. You were online. Where'd you go? There you are. 157, dude. That's awesome. Congrats, man. And thank you for the resub, dude. Much appreciated. A few hours is certainly a fast climb. You guys say 3 stars. Okay. Sasuke. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I haven't watched any anime in a while, so, you know. You encounter it every 3 minutes in an anime, but I haven't seen one lately, so it's a little out of practice. I mean, that's like you guys are just dropping the syllable there in the middle, right? Like, it's just it's one of those things like in English where we say things really fast and we drop a syllable. Like, the same thing's happening, right? It's Sasuke, and you just drop the U because you're lazy. Sasuke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just drop it. It's like I don't know. I'm trying to think of an English equivalent. I don't know. I'm not an expert on Japanese linguistics. That's it. Linguini, something like that. I think 3 stars is right for Blast Wave, though, guys. To get back on track, 3 stars feels good.
Plank is a 4.
It's because Sasuke is how you pronounce his name. No, I know. But what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure it actually is like Sasuke. I think I gave it the wrong emphasis when I said it initially anyway, but it's just one of those things that gets truncated, and it's easier to say Sasuke as opposed to Sasuke. But I definitely put the emphasis on the U too much, regardless. I'm not saying I did it right. I'm just saying I bet, my guess is, based on the spelling of that it's probably a sort of linguistics issue as opposed to a, I don't know. It's a dumb argument.
Star card.
Walk the Plank is not a 4-star card. I think 3 stars is reasonable. I don't know how many people are really playing this, though. I haven't really seen it a lot. It is over 1%, 1.6%. So 3 stars feels fine for Walk the Plank. Little overrated. I gave a lot of these 4 stars. How about the word Q in English? Yeah, there you go. Should be Queu. Quewe. Yes, it's a drop syllable like how people pronounce jewelry as jewelry. That's a good example. Yeah, man. Pull that out of nowhere. That's amazing. It's a sound deletion rule in Japanese, like how you don't pronounce the G in though. Ah, cool. There you go. You guys are smart. We have experts in every discipline here. It's so cool to get all these cool insights.
Hypemon is a 3-star card.
No, 2-star card for sure. Did I rate the last card? I did, right? You guys are distracting me too much, honestly. Blast Wave, and then what was the one before? Walk the Plank. Yeah, we did that one.
Is
Okay.
a 4-star card.
Hypemon's a 2-star card.
Hypemon is a 3-star card.
It's not a 3-star card. That's
Revenge
overrated.
of the Wild is a 5-star card.
All right, so we gotta talk about this one, right? A lot of people liked Revenge of the Wild, me included. It's definitely not a 5-star card. This is vastly overrated. It is a 3-star card right now, though. I think it's actually arguably becoming a 4-star card. It's gaining ground. It's in 2.9% of decks over the last month, but it was in 4.5% of decks yesterday. It's actually a lot. This is not 5 stars regardless. Overrated. I never should have gave this 5 stars, obviously. Far too conditional. It does offer some pretty neat tempo when it works, but it doesn't always work, and sometimes it's hard for a hunter to get it to work, and not all situations even lead you to want to trade your minions in to get it to work, so it's an awkward card to use sometimes. But it's not terrible either. It's being played. It took a while, and the meta had to shift, and the nerfs had to hit. But it is probably now like a 3.5-star card. I think 3 is still the safest answer for this because it hasn't had a whole lot of time yet. So 5, I think, is pretty drastically overrated on this one. A lot of people kind of took the bait on that one.
Lickum is a 3-star card.
Boys,
Lickum is probably a 3-star card. I think that's fair.
Regis is a 5-star streamer.
Hey, thanks, man. That's a nice thing to say. Appreciate that. Lickum, man, Lickum was being played a little bit, I felt like, but it's really never been relevant at all. Yeah, Lickum's a 2-star card. Never mind. The tough coughs as he plows the dough. Great example of a sentence, man. That's nuts. English is stupid, right? Bologna equals baloney. Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy too. Temple Storm added it to the mid-range hunter deck list. Ah, there you go. 2-star card for Lickum. There was a deck very early in the expansion, I feel like, that played this. A lot of people liked this card. I think I actually came in under a lot of expectations on it, but it's never hit 3 stars.
Masked Contender is a 4-star card.
No, it's definitely not. Did it even hit 3 stars? I don't really know if it ever got enough play to hit 3 stars. 0.7% of decks over the last 30 days. It did peak at, yeah, it was being played. It peaked at 3.45% in the middle of December. Has kind of fallen since, had an early bump this month. But I think 3 stars is fair for this. 2 is also fair, I'd argue. I think 2 is reasonable right now, but I think it was played enough to say 3 is the right answer. So we overrated it a little bit. It doesn't feel that good to play. It's a lot of chatter saying it's like, I don't know, like pulling secrets from your deck can help, but depending on the deck, depending on how many secrets, depending on how many other secret card draw options you have, if you're also running Subject 9 or Arcanologist or these other sort of secret pull cards, that can be an issue. And then also, it doesn't buff Spellstone or Secret Keeper, so often playing the secret is better than just having it summoned. The wording is confusing too. Kind of an awkward card all around, but I think 2 to 3 is the right mark. 2.5 is probably the real answer.
Soup Vendor is a 2-star card.
Sure, yeah, I mean, it's arguably 1 star, but 2 stars is certainly
Rabble
fine.
Bouncer is a 2-star card.
That's just fine, yeah, Bravo Bouncer's 2 stars.
Warbear is a 2-star card.
That's a whiff. That is a whiff, Regis. The Money Warbear is a 4-star card. It's been fantastic, played in a lot of different decks. Most notably Odd Warrior, but some Priest decks, Druid decks, Hunter decks even have played this thing. So I think 4 stars is the right score for Money Warbear. Drastically underrated. And I have to say, I think this is a trend I've had lately with my reviews that I need to keep in mind in the future. I think I'm underrating big neutral taunts. Like, a lot of these big neutral taunts just find ways to be played. Moshog Enforcer's another one we'll talk about tonight that's the exact same way. They find their way into decks because of whatever random synergy. This is a beast, so it worked well. With Undasta, it's got Rush, which makes it instant activator. It's Taunt, which is good in Odd Warrior. It's a beast for Katharina. It's a taunt for Priest, and like resummon is good. There's just all kinds of stuff that lines up. So when you get these big neutral taunts that are just stacked with keywords or value, much like Moshog, right? Tons of health, the Divine Shield, even Witchwood Grizzly are underrated too. Like, it's just so good off resummon effects. I keep doing that, so I have to keep these in mind. If your metric is percentage of decks, neutral cards are going to be heavily skewed. We're looking at percentage of yeah, well, that's true, but we're considering it in context always, right? Because a terrible card, whether it's neutral or class based, will still be a terrible card. It will see zero play, right? Like, it doesn't matter if it's not being played, the numbers don't change. And then if it's being played a lot, think about it, right? Like, there's rarely, if it's a card that's being played a lot across all classes, that's a sign that it's a really incredible card. That's how you get to those like 5-star cards. So I think you're right, and that's important. Like, we want that. We want it to be biased towards neutral cards. Like, neutral cards should be considered better because they're working in multiple archetypes, multiple classes. That's a good sign that it's really good. So yes, I think you're right, and that's a good thing. In fact, I don't think that's a like deficit of our method. I think that's an advantage of our method, if anything, because that means cards are good to craft. Cards are good to just good to have. They are therefore more powerful because they work in so many different ways. All right, so we're moving on to part 6. I think we had 12 parts, 10 parts. We had 12 parts, yeah. So we're not really making great time yet. I need to speed this up a little bit. I'm talking a lot. A lot of it has not been relevant to Hearthstone either, but that's okay. That's why we're here, right? We're having fun. YouTube's going to be ticked, and then they're going to get to this point in their video, and they're like, crap, I left a mean comment, and now I feel bad because Regis knows I'm mad at him. It's okay. I still love you. I know you don't like Twitch content on YouTube, but that's how the world's got to work sometimes. I don't think Talanji really has evidence yet to be a 3-star card, right? 0.6% of decks. Yeah, I don't really see that. She has gained ground recently with the spiteful priest list that we've been playing, like the Tice list. But I don't think 3 stars is still fair. I think 2 stars is still the right mark. So, overrated a little, but we were close. Card. I mean, again, if we're within 1, I don't feel too bad. I think 2 and 3 is a big distinction.
Predatory Instincts is a 2-star card.
I think that's right. Where's Mage Oldest Dirt? Is he here? Or is it the other one you liked? Which one did you like, Mage, of these 2 Druid Beastie cards? I don't know. You liked one of them a lot. And I do think these actually will be good still. I think this is a card to look out for. I think I will have eventually underrated this. I think this might actually hit like 3 stars eventually. Or maybe even 4. But for now, 2 stars is correct.
Haunting Vision is a 2-star card.
Can we talk about this one? Everybody liked this card so freaking much. This card made my most overrated video for Rastakhan's cards. People were like going crazy about this card. And I still don't understand why. So yes, it's a 2-star card. Like, I got this one right. One of the few. I'm glad I got this one right. 0.3% of decks. Yeah, like, just nobody wants to play this. It just doesn't really do anything. It's basically a cycle into a random spell. But an awkward one to use. You can't like flex it into turns easily. It's not like you can bank the tempo advantage like you can with Farsight. Or not even really an advantage, but you can't bank any of the tempo with Farsight. So it's just awkward. I do think there are ways you could make it more relevant with spell synergies and stuff, but for now, 2 stars is correct.
Overlord's Whip is a 3-star card.
It's not. It's 2 stars, or arguably 1 star. It's actually one of the worst cards in the expansion for played and win rates. I know that because I'm putting out a video soon. So probably 1 or 2 stars here for sure, 1.5 or something. I don't know why I really gave this 3 stars. I guess I just thought the stats would be enough to carry it. Like 4 attacks is pretty good on turn 3. It's good at chipping through stuff. But it turns out that 1 damage is more of a downside than an advantage, despite being in Warrior, where it seems like there are ways to make it work. Usually it's just like, oh, I wish my thing had 4 health instead of 3, you know? Like it doesn't usually help that much in constructed. So pretty overrated. I think 1.5 stars or so is right.
Taskmaster is a 4-star card.
I mean, it has been played, and I have probably played it more than most people, but I don't think there's evidence to suggest Taskmaster has hit 4 stars, right? Its peak was 2.5% or so in the middle of December, but it has only fallen since. I think right now you'd say this is a 2-star card. I think there's evidence to suggest it's a 3-star card at one point. So I guess that means it's a 3-star card. If it was ever a 3-star card, it's a 3-star card. So I guess 3 stars is right for Taskmaster. I still have hope that this could be relevant and could be a 4-star card. But right now, I don't think 4 is safe or fair to say. I think 3 is the right answer.
Murloc Tasty Fin is a 2-star card.
I think that's totally fine. Yeah. Really awkward for Murloc decks. Too much resource and value driven design here, where Murloc's like tempo and aggression and stats. So this doesn't really match up with what Murlocs are supposed to do. So unless we see some situational Murlocs or, you know, utility Murlocs, there's just not a reason to run a card like this. I mean, it could be that sort of ice fishing outside of Shaman someday. So maybe there's a chance it gets more, but for now, 2 is definitely the right mark. So now we need to go on to part 7. Let's see here. We went a little faster that time. Part 7.
Grifta is a 1-star card.
I think that's actually underselling Grifta a little, but I think 2 is right. We haven't really seen Grifta pop into constructed format at all outside of me trying to make it work. I think like Trump or somebody likes it a lot or played it some, but 0.1% of decks, it's only ever peaked at 0.18, which is terrible. So actually 1 star does line up pretty well there. Either way, we certainly recognize that it was not going to be successful, and it has not been successful. So the directionality there was correct.
Raptor is a 2-star card.
I think that's right. Spirit of the Raptor, not seeing any play at all. Awkward card still to me. I don't like this much. I don't think that's really what Druid needs. Maybe once Ultimate Infestation's gone and card draw matters more, but for now, 2 stars feels good.
Rally is a 4-star card.
Grim Rally has been picking up a little steam lately with the return of some Egg Zoo stuff, but I don't think 4 stars is reasonable to say at all. I really like 2 to 3 is the right mark. It did hit 1.4% a couple times. And it's really kind of losing ground lately. It gained a little, but it's still 0.5%. I don't know if I could say this is a 3-star card yet. I guess it was for a brief moment. 2.5 is really the right mark if there was such a thing. So I think, needless to say, we overrated it. Like, I think we went too high on this one. It's not as good as that yet. But again, it might be.
Smash is a 3-star card.
I haven't seen Totemic Smash much, right? Totemic Smash. 0.2, yeah, I think 3 stars actually overrated. I think 2 stars is far more relevant. Yeah, definitely 2 stars right now. I think it's fine, but 2 stars is the right mark.
Battle Axe is a 2-star card.
That's correct. I've been playing it more than anybody, but it's not very good overall, so 2 stars is fine.
Arcanosaur is a 3-star.
I don't think Arcanosaur's seen any play, because we've really only seen odd Mage, right? I think that will eventually be right one day. So much worse than Twilight. Actually, it's gotten to 0.84% in an Elemental Mage build. 1% as well. Still not comfortable giving it 3 stars, though. I don't think it's had enough action yet. It's closer than I thought, to be honest. I thought this was pretty firmly 2 stars. Looking at the data suggests it's closer to 3 than I realized. But I would still say 2. Maybe if it gets a little more time. A card to keep an eye on, though, for sure.
Spirit of the Frog is a 3-star card.
Spirit of the Frog is not a 3-star card. Spirit of the Frog I really have never seen at all that I can think of. I've tried it, of course, but Spirit of the Frog, 0.2%. Yeah, no evidence at all to suggest 3 stars is reasonable, so 2 stars for Spirit of the Frog. Close, but just a little off. And again, I mean, being 1 star off, I'm fine with that. Like, that means we were in the right direction. Being in the right direction is the most important thing. You're never going to know exactly how much a card's going to be played, right? So as long as your directionality is right. Did you think this card was more worse or more bad, right? Or more good, I mean. More good or more bad, and then how close were you, you know? That's kind of the important thing. Regis reviews. When's it going to be on YouTube? I don't know. Probably not tomorrow. Probably the day after.
Aha!
I'm like losing my voice tonight for some reason, guys. I don't know why. Am I talking more than normal? Ooh. I feel like dehydrated almost. There's a weirdo in my house. I think I'm going to be attacked. Guys, by the way, I'm just going to tell you right now. This is real. Let's get serious for a second. This is like serious time. If I'm ever murdered under suspicious circumstances, wait, when are you murdered under non-suspicious circumstances? If I am ever killed, if I ever lose my life under any sort of suspicious circumstances, if it ever seems odd, there's ever a hint, you know, that someone could have been at fault, blame Miss Kilbin. It was definitely her. 100% her. Like, don't even hesitate. Call the police. Get Murloc Holmes on the line. The case has been cracked. All right, it's Miss Kilbin. She's the one who did it. All right.
Loti is a 3-star card.
No, Lodi has not been a 3-star card yet. Definitely a 2-star card. A lot of people thought this card was like 4 or 5 stars. So I feel like I was directionally in a good spot compared to the community. I heard Miss Kilbin in the background. Yeah. She's acting goofy. But still overrated. I don't think it's 3 stars yet. I don't even really think it will be either, to be honest. I think 2 stars is where this card's always going to live. Clip this for evidence. Exactly.
Akali
Yes.
the Rhino is a 3-star card.
Yeah, maybe. Not really, though. I think Akali's pretty firmly 2 stars in my mind. I think the data supports the same. It's gaining a little ground. There's a Rush Warrior build with it, and the Spirit actually that are kind of popping up lately. But I think the deck's actually better without them. Does his win rate actually suggest that? Let me see this. Hold up. Let me take this list. Let me see. What's the drawn win rate on Akali? Spirit of the Rhino has a pretty low drawn win rate in the deck. Akali's isn't actually that bad. His played win rate's middle of the road too. He's not fundamentally terrible in the deck, but doesn't look great either. But anyway, not a 3-star card yet, based on any evidence that I can accrue. So I think 2 stars for the Rhino right now is fine. I don't actually think this card's ever going to be that good either. I really don't think so. There's no clear strong win condition with all this rush stuff. It's just stats with rush. What's the win condition? No strong win condition is a problem. Well, I actually disagree with that a little bit in a couple ways. One is probably a philosophical difference that I don't think I think big stats and big stuff is a win condition. In other words, if you land a couple 6/6s on board and you hit your opponent in the face 5 times, that's game, right? Like, and that happens. I've played the deck, and that's usually how you win. Like, oh, I just played, a Cobalt Scalebane and a Kor'kron Elite, and you can't kill him, so I just hit you for, whatever, 12 damage or something, and that was enough. But the deck has also been adding Inner Rage and Grom Hellscream for burst damage, so it actually has a burst damage finisher. So it plays much more like kind of an old Miracle Rogue or old Tempo deck in a way. Miracle Rogue's not the best example because of the card draw elements missing, but the finishing aspect where a ton of charge damage from hand, play for tempo, and then finish them out. So, I don't know. I understand what you mean. Like, it doesn't have a defined path towards victory in every game, which can be problematic in some matchups, but it often just kind of gets there. It just kind of gets there, So, it's probably more of a kind of a semantics discussion than an actual Hearthstone discussion, if that makes sense. It's a win condition that's not a win condition.
Roaster is a 2-star card.
Definite miss on the mark here, or miss on this one. I definitely underrated Crowd Roaster. I really thought this was going to feel too awkward to play. I didn't think the 7 damage would line up importantly in the late game. I thought the stat line would be a downside for Crowd Roaster pretty significantly. But a lot of decks have made this thing work. I don't know exactly how many, but you see it a lot in the Warrior and even the Priest versions of Dragon decks. Yeah, it's in 6.2% of decks. Easy 4-star card. This one shocks me. I really didn't think this would get there.
My proper sub anniversary.
Sometimes I think I'm crazy and I'm like, why did I give that such a rating? This one, I still feel like 2 stars made sense. I just it didn't line up in my brain. Clearly we know that cards like this, cards that kill something and play something, have historically been good, right? You've got like Firelands Portal, and you've got like Fire Elemental, and like these cards have always had some merits. Ultimate Infestation even, right? Like, I just thought this one looked more awkward. The mana cost was weird. The damage total was weird. Nothing about it to me seemed like it was going to line up. But sure enough, it's been great. So this is the one of the ones I missed the mark on the most, honestly. I'm still a little shocked by this one. 7 damage is a lot of damage. It is, but like it's in an increment where you don't really need that much usually. Like normally 5's enough, you know? So like Firelance Portal, does that just feel better? Because it can go face, you know? And is the minion off Firelance Portal better on average than a 7/4? Not really, but it has more health. So all those little things just kind of added up to making me think this was bad, but clearly I'm wrong. Like it's good. It's a great card. I like playing it too. I'm not saying people are wrong for playing it. They're absolutely right. It's good. I just totally missed the mark. I just totally missed it. Dragon S, thanks for the 6 months, and Fluffy dropping the Twitch Prime sub as well. Thank you everybody for the kindnesses tonight. That's pretty amazing.
Stampeding Roar is a 3-star card.
It's not. It's a 2-star card right now. Nobody ever plays this. I do think it'll be good eventually. I think this will come true, or maybe it will even be better than this at some point. Maybe a 4-star card one day. But, because it's just, I don't know, I think it's good. It makes sense. The things it does are positive. But clearly not yet a 3-star card.
Master's Call is a 4-star card.
Yeah, absolutely. Master's Call played very successfully in Hunter across multiple archetypes, and has been a very commonly one of the most played cards in Rastakhan's Rumble. So 4 stars. Some people probably would argue 5 stars. I don't think it gets there. It's just my kind of definitions, my measure, my scale. But clearly a good card. Easy 4 stars.
All right, guys.
Yeah. All right. So mixed bag there. Mixed bag. I think we've been worse on average this time around than I was for Boomsday Project. I think it was a lot closer on Boomsday Project. I don't think we've had anything too drastically awful, except for some of my 5-star ratings were just out of left field. I don't know.
Hey, buddy,
Most of it, the meat of it, the majority we've gotten right, and there was just a few really big misses. I don't know how that happened. Don't let Miss Kilbin hear me say really big misses. Hey, did I lose it? No, Fluffy Man. You might have lost your streak. The way subs work now is a little differently. You have a streak, and then you also have your total time subbed. So even if you lose your streak and you resub, you still get to keep your badge. But you lose your streaks. Like when you announce it, it doesn't say you've got a streak anymore. I think you can choose to announce the streak. I don't know. There's some weird stuff. I don't want to talk about streaking anymore. People are going to ask me to streak. That will not only get me banned, but I will be ashamed for the rest of my life.
Captain Hook Tusk is
last
a
thing I need.
4-star card.
No, Hook Tusk is not a 4-star card. I don't even really know if Hook Tusk is a 3-star card. Part of me wants to think so, and there might be some data to support it, but I don't know. Yeah, she's still in over 1% of decks, and it's gotten up to 1.5 almost. I think 3 stars is fair. I think 3 stars is fair, but she's kind of feeling like a 2-star card these days. Regardless, we definitely went a little too high on Hook Tusk. This is an overrated card.
Elemental Evocation is a
Evocation, Regis. Eva.
3-star card.
It's not. It is cool. I think it's a neat idea. It's actually, is it being played at all right now in some of these elemental mages I've seen popped up or not? No, 0.2%. So no, 2 stars is definitely the mark for elemental evocation here. Hook Tusk is good. She's good in wild for sure. I don't know if she's... there's not a lot of evidence she's good in standard yet. I think she might be. She might be. Like I said, anytime I overrate one of these cards, right now, we don't really know if I was wrong or not. Because there might still be a change in the future that makes that a 4-star card. And that means I'm going to be right eventually. Because, again, I rate cards based on their general qualities. The attributes, the base attributes that make them look good or bad in Hearthstone compared to other base attributes of cards. I'm not trying to predict if they're going to be good in a specific pocket meta like Trump. That's way harder to do. Respect to Trump. It's really impossible to guess with all those different variables. I'm just looking at the stats, the efficiency, the tempo, those sorts of core attributes of things and say, like, these has core attributes that match up with core attributes that have been successful in past iterations of cards or past expansions, past metas. So I think it'll be good. So overrating right now, we're wrong at the moment, but may not ever be wrong. That said, if I underrate something, I'm definitely wrong. because that means I didn't see the potential and it's already expressed that potential and it's already found success. So half of these I'm legit wrong. Like Crowd Roaster, 100% wrong. Absolutely wrong. Hook Tusk, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Time will tell.
Drake is a 3-star card.
I actually think it's a 4-star card. I think that's an underrate. Ember Scale Drake has worked really well already successfully in Dragon Warrior. Seems like an easy kind of staple just to include in any of those Dragon Synergy decks. You're saying there's a chance. Yes, 1 in a million. But by God, there's a chance. Oh, what a dream. And I am the dumber part of the Dumb and Dumber.
Blood Scalp Strategist is a 2-star card.
So far, yeah, I think that's right. 2-star. So if you rated every card 4 or 5 stars, you could never be wrong. No, I try to stick it to standard format. Like if it never shines in standard format, I was eventually wrong. There is a cutoff, right? Wild, yes. Like eventually everything's gonna be played in wild, probably outside of some just absolute garbage cards. So you're right, but I think standard format is the mark there that matters. But you bring up a good point. You bring up a good point. So yeah, we have 21 months to see if they're going to be good or not. So theoretically, we could do a final re-review after the rotation, right? To see if they ever saw any sort of play. That's actually not a bad idea. Do like one big, giant final re-review of all rotating cards to see how right I was. 2-star card for Blood Scalp, I think is fine. I've never really seen this played.
Bad Voodoo is a 2-star card.
I think that's right. I play it actually more than most people, but I still haven't really seen this played at all. Is there any evidence to suggest that this is not a 2-star card? I think I'm going to stop looking up all of them because I'm going to run out of time if I don't. And just, if you guys say I'm crazy, let me know if I'm crazy and maybe we'll go back and review the stats. But I think 2 stars is fine.
Sightless Ranger is a 2-star card.
I think that's totally fine. Again, we're not looking at these in Arena, right? Some of these are good in Arena, not good in Constructed. So those all felt good. I mean, we overrated Hook Tusk, but a little underrated Drake, close. So not too far off on that review, that particular review. Actually, we only have 3 more reviews to go, but the last one's long, so.
Gonk.
Nobody laughed about my big Mrs. joke, by the way. Not a single person. I didn't see anybody in chat laugh at my big Mrs. joke. Bazark, dude, how's it going? Hey, Chewy. Oh, you did laugh. Good, okay. I have a 75% win rate with Hook Tusk in my Sea of Thieves deck. Oh, Sea of Thieves, man. I always wanted to play that. That was fun. Why are my people still not giving the Tunnel Trog love? Really? People don't play Tunnel Trog? Seems really good, man. Seems really good. How has Regis Philbin not sued you yet? More popular than him at this point. Like, he's gonna sue him. I laughed. Okay, good. Good. Sea of Thieves is fun with friends. Ah, crap. I'm missing a key component there. If only I owned Sea of Thieves. got him. Gonk the Raptor is a 2-star card. That's right.
Undertaker is a 3-star card.
It's not, and I wanted to give the Undertaker 2 stars, and I didn't because of pressure. But it's really a 2-star card, I think. Undertaker, yeah, only in 0.8% of decks. I mean, it had some peaks where people were trying it early on, but it wasn't good. People were forcing it. There's an argument that it's 3 stars. I think some people would probably like to say it's 3 stars, but I think I actually bowed too much to community pressure here. I wanted to give it 2, and I should have gave it 2. I think 3 is overrated.
Snapjaw Shell Fighter is a 2-star card.
I think there's a little bit of debate there. Why am I logged into EA Origins right now? I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but it's a pretty funny name, so I hope so. Was there... this card has popped up from time to time, but I think 2 is still probably right. I don't think I've seen it enough. Like, people are trying to squeeze it into stuff, but yeah, there's not enough data to support anything higher than 2. 2 is right.
Card. Mosh Og Announcer is a 2-star card.
This is another card that's actually popping up a little bit in like Odd Rogue. I think it's still pretty rare to see, so I think we're probably okay at 2 stars here. Yeah, it's pretty rare still, so 2 feels good. I like the Gattaca tossed in there just for fun. Just for fun. Mosh August 2, thank you so much, Hit Scooter Dude, for the great 100 bits there, the good laugh.
Regenerate is a 2-star card.
It is. It's actually been around a little bit in some like crazy OTK stuff, but 2 stars is still right.
Seance is a 4-star card.
Not yet, right? Seance is a 2-star card right now. I don't think I've really seen it much. Is it ever being played in any sort of control priest decks? Well, actually, yeah, it is a little bit. 1.6. Quest Priest is running it. Topsy-Turvy OTK is running it. Not really any of the traditional control or combo priests, but it is seeing 1.6% of play. That actually makes it a 3-star card by a lot of metrics. And maybe it's 3 stars.
Regis. Hey, chat,
Not 4 yet.
Brad.
Hey, Synth and Lasers, dude, 6 months. That's crazy. Grats on the purple badge, man. That's a great deal. Very well done. Run it with Amara. Yeah. That's right. That makes sense. Not 4 stars, but 3 actually closer than I thought.
Sand Drudge is a 3-star card.
No, it's 2
Mark of
stars.
Valoa is a 2-star card.
That's correct.
Lion
Yeah.
Cracker is a 2-star card.
That's correct, yeah.
Bog Slosher is a 4-star card.
Not yet, but I do think Bog Slosher has a chance. I think Bog is probably a 2-star card right now. I do think it'll see play. I know some people toss it into their decks. Yeah, it's in like 1% of decks almost. And it's actually peaking at 1.5 this week. The Elemental Shaman is running it. Not a lot, of course, but a little. Not a 4-star card either way. 2.5 to 3 stars is the real answer here for Bog Slosher. So I think we were a little too high on Bog Slosher for the moment. That's it. Okay, let's see what's next. We're on 10, so that's 11 next. Here's Zul'jin and some friends. Zihi's going to be on here.
Zul'jin is a 4-star card.
I think that's right. I do think there was an argument that he was a 5-star card for a while there. He was very, very pervasive. And Hunter was everywhere, a huge part of the meta. So, I think 4 stars is actually correct right now. To me, still not a 5-star card based on my mark. Do you ever rate cards 1 star? Yeah, we'll find some. There's been a few I've said is really more of a 1-star card. But again, 1-star cards and 5-star cards, guys. You know, I very much believe in, like, you know, sort of the why am I blanking on the name? I went to school for postgraduate degree in statistics. I'm blanking on it. A bell curve. I very, very much believe in a bell curve approach. Like, I really want 1 stars and 5 stars to be rare. 1 star is a little more common than 5 stars probably. But, you know, I very much want the 2, 3, and 4 to be the vast majority of cards, because that's to me what we see in Hearthstone. We don't see that many cards that are just actively terrible, right? Most cards, like, you know, for instance, if you got them added to your hand, it's like, okay, I'll play this. Like Millhouse Manastorm, on the other hand, if you get it added to your hand, you might not play it. That's a 1-star card. Harbinger Celestia is like, I don't want to spend 4 mana on this. Maybe that's a 1-star card, right? Those exist. Dr. Morgan, I'm never spending 8 mana on this. That's a 1-star card. So those are worse than, like, harmless 2-star cards, you know? So I think there is a distinction. And again, I think 5-star have to stand really far above. So to me, I think that's good that they're sort of outliers in a way. I think that's important. He's an arm away from 5 stars. Yeah, maybe. I actually think this one got really close to 5 stars. I think 4.5, 5 is, you know, before the nerfs, I would have been making an argument for 5 stars. Since we've seen it level out a bit and we know it's just not always super duper good, I think 4.5 is probably the right mark. To find a harmless 2-star card, didn't we just have one last expansion? I don't know, Splitting Image is a harmless 2-star card. Like, okay, I get it, I play it, it feels okay, but it's not randomly played in decks, right? Like, you don't put Splitting Image in your deck, but if you get it generated off of a thing, you don't feel bad playing it, right? It's kind of fine, it's low cost, it's easy, etc. I do think there are those that do feel pretty bad, though. Where am I going here? So 1-star cards have to be... I'm not going to say they have to be actively detrimental. They just have to be really obviously bad, if that makes any sort of sense.
Mojo Master Zihi is a 4-star card.
I don't know if that's true yet, but it probably is, actually. Zihi's popping up more and more. A lot of cards are taking this dude in, particularly even lists. 4% of decks right now, or the last 30 days, over 4% right now. So, yeah, I actually think 4 is pretty fair, given that it's a neutral card. You know, it's got a lot of playability across different decks. I like Zehi at 4. 3.5 is probably an argument too. Mage, yeah, 3.5. Yeah, you agree. But I'm okay with 4. It's close enough to say that's right.
The Beast Within is a 2-star card.
Yeah, sure. I think that's right. This is actually this is being played a little bit. I feel like I saw this in a list somewhere recently, or maybe I saw it played against me. No, it's not. I must have dreamed that. It's not being played at all. So really, 2 stars is fine. Maybe 1 star even based on the data. But splitting is 3 to me. Personally, 1 and 2 star cards are both unplayable in my head. 2s are just not god awful. But nobody's playing Splitting Image, right? I haven't seen anybody play Splitting Image, so I don't know if the data suggests that it is playable. I mean, I agree with you. Like, fundamentally speaking, it doesn't seem bad. Actually, it's actually over 1.1%. It's being played a little bit in Secret Odd Mage right now. That's right. We encountered it yesterday, and I was surprised. So, yeah, I think Splitting Image is fine at 3. I don't know. I'm trying to think of another example of, like, a 2-star card. I mean, this is one. It's fine to play sometimes, but you don't put it in your deck, right? It's cheap. It's easy to play. Doesn't hurt you. It's like a 2-star card. You know, maybe the difference is like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good comparison, like a vanilla card that might be one, like, I don't know, Silverback Patriarch versus like Ironfur Grizzly, right? Silverback Patriarch's probably a 1-star card because it's just so bad. And Ironfur Grizzly, same mana cost, both taunts, both beasts, but it feels a little bit better to play. So Ironfur Grizzly's a 2-star card. Silverback Patriarch's a 1-star card. Does that make sense? Like, that's the distinction, I guess, in my head. I'm not saying it's perfect, but that's pretty close to what the distinction is. One feels so much worse than the other, but neither one is really something you run in a Hearthstone deck. Unless it's like a budget or whatever. There are better 3-mana options out there. You know, a 3-star version might be... a 3-star 3-mana beast might be a Bear Shark. A 4-star 3-mana beast is like what? Trying to think of another one. I'm running out of ideas. Grizzlies too, but I don't want to play it either. Exactly, yeah. 2-star cards don't get played. I think that's right. I'm saying they don't get played. They don't get played, but they're not as bad as 1-star. 3 stars where you see the card. It pops up from time to time. 4 stars where it's a very considerable part of the meta. It's commonly seen. 5 stars where it's everywhere, meta-defining, reshaping the game, like getting nerfed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't do 0 stars, so you gotta have 1 star as the bottom, right? Morgan's much worse than Patriarch. They're both 1 stars, I think. They're both just cards that are terrible. I kind of agree with you. Maybe she's 0 or -1 or something. So I don't know if that added any clarity or not. I don't know if that added any clarity. Marshall, that's pretty close, man. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what I'm thinking.
Splitting Image is a 4-star card.
It's not yet, but we did learn it's a 3-star card. So a little overrated. I think it could be 4 stars someday for sure. It's probably 2.5 right now in my heart, really. It's being played a little bit today in Secret Odd Mage. I don't know if I've seen enough evidence to really bump it up to 3. Animal Companion's 4 stars. Sure, yeah, there you go. That's a 3-mana beast that's 4 stars on average. Yeah, that's a 4-star 3-mana beast. Bear Shark is a 3-star 4-mana beast because it gets played a little, but not all the time. Ironfur Grizzly's a 2-star 3-mana beast because it's like, well, it's okay, but I don't really love it. I'm not putting it in my deck. And then Silverback Patriarch's a 1-star 3-mana beast because you're like, oh, this is garbage. This is terrible. So then you have sort of the full gamut. I don't know, is there a 5-star 3-mana beast? No, Vicious Fledgling, by the way, another 4-star 3-mana beast would be a good comparison. So you go from Patriarch, Ironfur Grizzly, Bear Shark, Vicious Fledgling, right? Those are all 4 3-mana beasts, but they have a pretty clear hierarchy between them, in my mind at least. That's how I would rank them. Bear Shark and Fledgling are probably close, but I still give the edge to Fledgling there pretty hard. I think it gets played a lot more. A lot more. Hey, Felkey, man. Thanks for stopping by. That's awesome to hear. Spirit of the Rhino
is a 4-star card.
It's not. It is being played a little bit right now in Rush Warriors, but I think 2 stars is still the right spot for Spirit of the Rhino. There's not enough data yet or enough games to suggest that it's 3 stars. I don't know why I gave this 4. I didn't really like this card. I don't know why I gave this 4. In my mind, I thought I gave this 2 stars right now. I'm shocked that I gave this 4 stars. I don't know what I was thinking. Huh. Vicious is possibly 5 stars. I don't think it's played enough. It's just not common enough. If it was 5 stars, we'd see it in all these decks, right? All these decks. I think it's still 4 stars. 4.5 maybe.
Mass Hysteria is a 3-star card.
It's not. It's an easy 4-star. It's actually the most played Rastakhan's Rumble card right now. I think it was yesterday at least, and it's 4 stars. It's very good. I really didn't think this card would work very well. I thought it would be far more awkward. It clears boards way more regularly and consistently than I ever dreamed, and I just underrated it straight up. Even though I'm close, even though I'm within a star here, I really didn't think this card would be played much. At least, I don't remember thinking that at least. And it's clearly 4 stars, arguably 4.5. Some people would say 5 probably because it's everywhere. I don't think it's reached 5 territory yet, but it is getting close. It's being played a lot. What is the play rate of this card right now? I sort of theoretically threw out 15% as a threshold earlier. I'm not really holding 100% of that or anything, but it's 14.2%. Cards over 15% played rates right now are Rexar, Flanking Strike, Power Word Shield, Psychic Scream, Dire Mole, Leroy, Shadow Visions, Fungalmancer, Lich King, Stonehill, Tar Creeper, Baku, Firefly, and Ziliax. Some of those I would not consider 5-star cards because their impact is too low. Like Dire Mole is too low impact, Power Word Shield is too low impact. Psychic Scream, I would make consideration that Psychic Scream is a 5-star card. I really would. Fungalmancer, I think, might be. Stonehill, it's still kind of, in my heart, feels like a 4-star card, as do Firefly and Tar Creeper, because I just don't think they define the decks well enough. Like, they're everywhere, but I don't know. I am going to upload I'm going to upload this. Yes, you don't have to watch now if you don't want to. How is this so consistent? Is there any strat to play around it? There's not really, other than just playing high health minions, you know. But it's still just always, I don't know, not always, but it lines up all the time.
Bloodsail Howler
It's not a guarantee, but it's very consistent.
is a 2-star card.
That's correct. 1 star arguably right now, but 2 stars is totally fine. And now we're on to the final review. Dun dun dun.
Kroglaw the Frog is a 4-star card.
Not yet, buddy. No past Regis and your hilarious face. 2 stars right now. I haven't seen Kroglaw at all. Have you guys seen anything different there? Suggest anything different? Kroglaw, 0.8% of decks. I mean, it's creeping up towards 1, but it never got there. So 2 stars is the right mark here. 2 stars. Maybe one day. Not giving up hope, but so far overrated.
Tree Speaker is a 3-star card.
No, there were people like toying around with that, but it's a 2-star card, and I probably should have gave it 2 stars. I remember people telling me this was really good. I probably kind of, succumbed to community input a little bit too much on this one. I like to review the cards without reading anything first if I can, but sometimes it's impossible just depending on how it's revealed and stuff. So sometimes I think I do get tricked or kind of convinced one way or the other. It's not Crokwall's fault. It's not. I think he's cool.
Scorch is a 3-star card.
No, it's not. It's probably being played a little bit in that elemental deck. Is it? I don't really know. There's like an elemental deck popping up. No, it's not at all. 2-star card, easy. 2-star card. Maybe it was a long day. Yeah, it probably was. This is definitely a long day. There's 35 cards in this review. Took me forever to get the graphics going. Like, the graphics are the hardest part of these. Like, I recorded it in 33 minutes or something, 36 minutes, but getting all the graphics set up and the stuff takes forever in the editing.
Tortoise is a 2-star card.
Did I say Turtis? Did I say Turtis? Hold up. Did I say Angry Turtis?
3-star card. Scorch is a 3-star card. The Ornery Turtis is...
Ornery Turtis! That's what would happen if in Doctor Who, instead of having an old school telephone box as the entry into the TARDIS, that's what would happen if it was in a porta potty instead. The Turtis. The doctor and his companion would travel time in the TARDIS, shaped like a porta potty. I guess I stuck turtle and tortoise together. I don't know.
Is a 2-star card.
2-star cards is fine. It's fine. It actually got played a little bit. I think there's an argument here to be 3 stars. Another example of a maybe 2-star beast, by the way, a 3-mana beast. Kind of forgot this card existed. I don't think there's a good argument for 3 stars on this though. It fell off pretty hard afterwards, and I think it was kind of a flash in the pan. That's the American Doctor Who.
TURDUS. We have to travel through slime.
She didn't say it, Hidden Squitter. She didn't say it, man. That's okay. American Doctor Who. That's the reboot. They travel in the Turnus.
Demon Bolt is a 2-star card.
Yeah, Demon Bolt's really good in Arena, but not yet good in Constructed. 2 stars is
Flash
fine.
of Light is a 4-star card.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I hit that one. Yeah, Flashlight's great. It was awesome in OTK decks. I think it'll be played again. So yeah, 4 stars sounds good.
Sapper is a 2-star card.
Sure, that sounds good.
Is a 4-star card.
Not yet. No, Bloodclaw's pretty bad at this point. Heal Paladin is not taken off at all. Very dependent on Heal Paladin. I actually thought this card would be good outside of Heal Paladin a little bit too. I thought it would see play as just kind of a really cheap weapon activation, like really good, just early board clear, but it has not really seen that at all. So I think I sort of overrated this on 2 fronts. I think 2 stars is correct here.
Banana Buffoon is a 3-star card.
Yeah, actually, I think that's right. Buffoon gets bumped out of the 2-star range. He's been played in a couple different ways. A couple different decks successfully have used him. Let me make sure the data supports that, because that could be debatable. But yeah, he's over 1%. He's had peaks that are higher than that, over 2%. So yeah, I think 3 stars is totally fine for Buffoon.
Cheaty Ankle Biter is a 1-star card.
No, actually, really missed the mark on this one. Wow. The Ankle Biter has seen way more play than that. Remarkably, I still can't believe it to this day, but Mechathoon Warlocks utilized this very successfully, peaked at almost 3%, still well over 1%. So I think you have to say this is a 3-star card. 3 stars on the Cheaty Ankle Biter. I thought it would just be terrible, but no, being played. Pretty remarkable. Crazy stuff.
Serrated Tooth is a 3-star card.
Not yet. I think it's a 2-star card. I haven't seen any Serrated Tooth action. So I gotta say 2 stars there.
Halftime Scavenger is a 2-star card.
Yep.
Pounce is a 3-star card.
Yes, actually, weirdly enough. I'm surprised I gave this 3 stars. I thought I would have gave this 2 stars. But it's being played very successfully in Mechathoon Warlock as a Gadget Dan Auctioneer Activator. Or not Warlock, excuse me, Druid, Mechathoon Druid. So yeah, Pounce is not being utilized as a hero power synergy card as we might have expected, but definitely a 3-star card. I think that's exactly right. Hey, Drew Decker, man, how's it going?
Mosh Og Enforcer is a 1-star card.
Oh, God. Regis. What have you done, Regis? Oh, this doesn't work very well. Regis, Mosh Og Enforcer's everywhere, Regis. What have you done? Mosh Og is a 4-star card right now, which is mind-boggling. I'm surprised I gave this 1-star instead of 2. Again, we talked about this earlier. I think I've historically undervalued late game taunts. With complementary effects. Like obviously, well, even like Sleepy Dragon though is a card that's been played, and I undervalued that too. Yeah, I just missed the mark on this one. It's being played a lot. I don't know if it's because of the card's own merits. You know, it requires support, but that's okay. All cards require support. They have to be in decks. What is Moshog actually in right now? It is 4 stars, right? 7%. Yeah, you got to give that 4 stars. I mean, it's all in the last week or two, but I think you have to say. I think you have to say 4 stars. My heart 3 feels better, to be honest, but 4 is the right number. That's what the data says.
Dragon Moss Scorcher is a 3-star card.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's being played, but it's not everywhere. It's not in every Dragon deck. It's just in a lot of them. I don't think I would really feel good about giving this 4 stars. Well, no, actually, maybe I would. It's up to 4%, 4.5%.
Welcome, boys. Make some.
I think 3.5 is really where this lives.
Winning a lot.
Winning a lot. 10 months from Canthel. What? That's crazy, man. The new subtotals are helping you out a ton. I wish I was winning a lot, man. I won a game today, but not with you guys. I got carried a little bit, I'll be honest. I did okay. I contributed, but the guys I was with were nuts. They were really good. You always undervalue late game cards. Too slow, too much setup will get rushed down. I don't know about that. I mean, there's a lot of late game cards I've given good scores to. It's just, I think they have to be built in a correct way. Like, let's hold up now. Now you've got me thinking. Like, now I'm going to sort these by mana cost, and we're going to take a look. Let's see. I gave Grave Horror a great score. I thought it was going to be good. I overrated that. I gave Talanji too good of a score. I gave Hook Tusk too good of a score. I gave Akali too good of a score. I actually overrated a lot of these, I think, man. There are some I underrated. Sure, Crowd Roaster. I overrated Bwansamdi. I underrated Amani Warbear. It's like the neutral ones it's like the neutral taunt ones that I underrate. If it has an effect or action, I don't think I underrated it. But it's the neutral ones I do. What do you guys think? 3 or 4 stars here for Dragon Maw Scorcher. I think this is debatable. It feels like 3.5 to me. Numbers kind of suggest 4, but for some reason it still feels like a 3-star card to me. Like an Arena, yeah, sure, but we're talking standard. You guys all say 3, huh? 3 is fine? Okay.
Arena Fanatic is a 2-star card.
That's right.
Spirit of the Lynx is a 3-star card.
No, Spirit of the Lynx is a 2-star card. Nobody's playing that right now.
Halazi the Lynx is a 3-star card.
No, Halazi's a 2-star card. I was close on these. I mean, gave them some benefit of the doubt, but they've been underperforming. I mean, Halazi's cool in Rexar pool, but
Headhunter's Hatchet is a 3-star card.
I think that might be right. This has been played a little bit, right? Headhunter's Hatchet we've seen from time to time. Headhunter's Hatchet. Yeah, it's in 3% of decks even right now. So yeah, I think 3.5 is probably in a good spot. What do you guys think? 3.5? 3 or 4? I think we're close enough regardless. Like, we recognize some degree of playability, and it's got a little bit of playability. So, I mean, sure, we're close.
Dragon Roar is a 3-star card.
Actually, everybody's going to say it's so good in Arena, which, yeah, it is very good in Arena, but it's really not that good in Constructed yet, that I've seen at least. Dragon Roar, 0.5% of decks. The problem is it's not odd. If it was odd, it'd be everywhere. But I think Dragon Roar is really a 2-star card still right now. 2-star card for me. 3's a little too high.
Devastate is a 2-star card.
I think that's right too. Let me see. I don't like this card as much as some people though, so I need to check this one. Devastate. 0.3% of decks. Yeah, not even making the way in any sort of odd Dragon Warrior list. So, I mean, it's in a couple, but not really. Way less than other options. So, yeah, 2 stars is fine.
Arena Treasure Chest is a 1-star card.
Maybe. It's pretty bad. It's in the bottom 10 cards for the expansion, I know, because I just made some video stuff for that. But there was like somebody who put it in a deck one time. Does that mean it's a 2-star card? Not that it really matters much. No, the peak for this card was 0.05%, so not even a tenth of a percent. You know, half of a tenth of a percent. So I think 1 star is totally fine.
Arena
2, whatever.
Patron is a 2-star card.
Honestly, probably a 1-star card. It's very bad. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty bad. 1 star, 2 stars, whatever. It's bad. We got that right.
Arcanine Phantasm is a 4-star card.
It's not. I think it will be still, but Arcanine Phantasm looks like a 2-star card. It has been played a little bit with that like regenerate combo deck, but that's just not really being played at all. So Arcanine Phantasm, you know, it got a bump this week, but only to 0.2%. So really a 2-star card, pretty firmly 2 stars. I still hold out hope, but we overrated for now.
Warbringer is a 2.
I said Warbringer. It's not even the name of the card. Warbringer is kind of a 1-star card right now. I mean, it's a 1-mana 2/1s. I guess it's always two stars, but it's not being played at all.
Stolen Steel is a 3-star card.
It's not. Stolen Steel has some of the worst stats of the entire expansion for played and deck win rate. This card's just terrible, apparently. I kind of want to like it. Part of me thinks it makes sense, but it's not a 3-star card. It's not playable right now. It's definitely looking more like a 1.5, 2-star card, 1-star card even. So overrated there.
Spellzerker is a 2-star card.
Spellzerker saw some play. I think you got to say Spellzerker's a 3-star card, right? Let me see if it's still seeing any player that was a real flash in the pan. It's down to 0.5%. Yeah, I mean, it was almost 1% in mid-December. I think 2 stars is actually right. It fell off pretty hard, I guess. It was in that really early Mage style, I think, right? But it fell off really hard and fast. So I don't know. I think 2 stars was right. I think you could say 2.5, but I don't even have evidence that it's ever been over 1%. So I can't really say 3, based on that 1% threshold's kind of been our 3-star mark in the past. I mean, not universally true, but you got to go by feel a little bit. It kind of feels like a 3-star card to me. 2.5. Yeah, sure. Sure. 2.5, we'll say, with a little round up to 2.51 or something.
Shield Breaker is a 1-star card.
It's not a 1-star card, but I do think it's a 2-star card. I did see this card pop up in a deck like yesterday or something, though. Shield Breaker is still only being played in 0.2% of decks. It's jumped to 0.32% today, but never got above 0.3%. So honestly, yeah, one star is probably okay on this one. 2 stars is actually really where it's at, though, too. But again, it's bad. We knew it would be bad, so we got it kind of right there. Some people like that card, by the way. I still just didn't think it made sense.
Lord is a 2-star card.
Sure, probably 1 star really, but it doesn't feel terrible, so 2 stars is fine.
Scarab Egg is a 3-star card.
Yeah, actually, Scarab Egg has popped into a few different lists. I think it is a 3-star card. It's a good spot there. It's one that you could have thrown away. But, well, no, it got, it got to 1.56 early in January. It held at 1% for a week or so. It's about 0.5 right now. It's probably 2.5, honestly. Probably 2.5. Serpent Ward is 1 star. Sure, yeah. I think it's fair because it doesn't have attack value. 2.5 to 3. We're close on Scarab Egg. I think it's close.
Shaker is a 2-star card. Regenerating Thug is a 2-star card.
Yep.
Ice Cream Peddler is a 1-star card.
I think a lot of people say, Regis, that's a 2-star card. It was played in that Shutterwalk deck or whatever. But that Shutterwalk deck was garbage, guys. That deck was terrible. It was a fun meme, right? We got some cool videos out of it, or other people did at least. But this card's never been good. And I actually looked at the stats on this card. They're pretty bad. 1 star versus 2 star. Maybe it's a 2-star card, sure. It's a 4-mana 3/5, which isn't inherently bad. So 2 stars, but not good at all. So please don't try to make an argument for 3 or anything. Like, I don't think you can ever say 3 for this one. It's got to be 2 or less.
Helpless Hatchling is a 3-star card.
Interesting. I remember giving this card a little bit of benefit of the doubt, and I remember going above curve on it for what most people considered. I don't think there's been any evidence to suggest that was right. It's not been played at all. It got up to 0.5% or something, so it's definitely a 2 or less star card, not a 3-star card. But I kind of didn't hate the idea of starting off with a cheap beast that gave you some benefit. Still don't totally hate it. This is a card I'm going to keep my eye on. I don't really think it'll be played, but I have like this tiny glimmer of hope.
Gurubashi Offering is a 1-star card.
Yep.
Former Champ is a 4-star card.
Yeah, I went out on Former Champ, guys, and I still kind of like it. How did you rate this 3 stars? What card are we talking about? Oh, the Helpless Hatchling. I just explained it. Like, 1-mana beast is good. The Death Rattle can be relevant because Death Rattle synergies exist. There's a tempo gain in the back end. Like, I kind of thought it made sense. I don't know. Former Champ, definitely not a 4-star card. 2-star card, easy. I still kind of like this, to be honest. Like, it is good in Arena, yeah. Not good in Constructed, though. But the Battlecry is so strong. Like, I have a little bit of a dream for this one. I think Battlecry synergies could make this card good yet. But so far, very clearly overrated. 2 stars right now.
Drakari Trickster is a 2-star card. Dozing Marksman is a 1-star card. Booty Bay Bookie is a 1-star card. And there you go. Those
are all 1 or 2 stars there at the end for sure. So yeah, that wraps it up. Now I didn't keep a tally of like, how well we did, but I think we had some really high profile misses. I think we rated a few things 5 stars that were for sure not 5-star cards. That's pretty clear. That's unfortunate. I think a vast majority of the cards we were very close on, 70, 80 cards are probably just forgettable, easy sort of things that we just got right, had directionally correct. Overrated, 15, 20. Underrated, 15, 20. Got a few crazy wrong, like 3 or 4 just absolutely, totally directionally wrong. I'm not too upset with that. I don't think it was as good as our Boomsday review. I think Boomsday we actually did really well. Maybe only missed big time on like 5 to 10 cards and got a vast majority directionally correct. So not as good. I don't know why that is. I don't know what we did wrong. Some surprises here and there. And that wraps it up. And as I mentioned in the video there, we did pretty well at the end of the day, honestly. Not as well as Boomsday Project, but got a majority of the cards very close to where they belonged. We knew for the most part what was going to be good, what was going to be bad. Certainly overrated quite a few things. I think I got hyped on some of the class legendaries. Probably personal biases and hopes weighed in a little bit over logic occasionally. Underrated just a couple things here and there, but for the most part had a good feel on what was going to happen. Now that said, I'm curious, what did you guys get right and wrong from Rastakhan's Rumble? What do you disagree with here in my re-review? I want to hear all those thoughts in the comments below. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, game on.